Well, now's your chance to conclude the show by talking about Bruce Jenner. What an unbelievable...
I'm blown away by that, and I'm not being facetious. I'm blown away.
What is he? Bruce Jenner's now going to be starting in Mrs. Doubtfire? Is that it?
That's not funny.
It's not funny. He has changed... Frank, we're talking about one of the most decorated Olympians in the history of the United States, who basically marries one of the Kardashian women, the woman who has basically made the Kardashian a brand and has taken these girls and done these incredible things by doing absolutely nothing. He's married to her. Who knows what has really, really happened to Bruce Jenner, whether he's a product of being part of that family or whether it was something in his personality, in his gender, that was going to come out at some point anyway. But it's Bruce Jenner.
What's he done, Perry? Is he changed?
Yes, he's transgender.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
And again, this is a guy who was a brilliant, brilliant athlete who was made to look like an absolute...
There's been rumor and speculation about his sexuality for many, many, many years, even before. The allegation or the innuendo is that he married the Kardashian to stop and crush that innuendo. The same when there was all kinds of innuendo of Rock Hudson, and then the Hollywood fabricated this relationship that he had with Doris Day, that there was romance and all of that.
Well, he proved that in the end, that he died a very tough death.
Very tough death.
Yep.
So what I'm trying to tell you is this. There's been allegation and rumor and innuendo about Bruce Jenner for a long, long time.
And none of it really would have been a big deal.
He's just tired.
You know what, Frank? This wouldn't be such a big deal were not for the fact this is tied into the Kardashians. This is like the product of an even bigger product.
Yeah, listen, I don't have a problem with Kardashians. You know, I'm looking at getting some ass lifts and some new ribs, maybe a nipple.
Unbelievable.
I'm happy with my nipples, and I know you can get new nipples. They're on sale right now for 2015. But you know, I mean, people who watch.
Agreed. That's
people who watch the Kardashians are those kind of people. I mean, that show is bizarre. I mean, I don't think that show is any better than the Honey Boo Boo show that was on, which they canceled because there was the allegation that the Honey Boo Boo's mother is dating a pedophile. Am I lying? I'm telling you that.
No, you're not lying. It's preposterous.
But the world's fucked, and that's why these reality shows are big. The pig hunters, the crocodile hunters,
Big Jerry Stringer looked like a choir boy, Frank.
I'm telling you, it's just bizarre. Our little show is bizarre. You know, we need a little more Jerry Springer. We need Jerry Springer's producers come here and spruce it up a bit because, anyways, Bruce Jenner, from what I've read over the past few days, was very unhappy with his life, and he finally had enough. And good for him. I mean, or for her, because you know you can't criticize somebody for wanting to feel comfortable in their own skin, and he has not been comfortable in the role that he's played in the world, in that play, and he's decided that you know he's and it's a big deal. I mean, there's always been, now it's way more acceptable to come out and make peace with yourself than it was 20 years ago for what was her name? The one, Riggs, Billie Jean King?
Yeah.
She had a tough time, even though everybody knew that, and when she lifted the man and put him up on in the third row.
Bobby Riggs,
yeah. There's a question about him, too.
but what I'm saying to you is, we live in a world now where people should be able to feel comfortable, where ignorance is bliss, and I give kudos to him for coming out and having enough of faking it to please people. Who the fuck? Why would you fake it to please who? You got, at the end of the day, it's you, and you got to get along with yourself, and you know, he's going to be a target now, and he's all over the place, in every tabloid, the picture. Like, you can't go to a supermarket at checkout without buying a chocolate bar and seeing a picture of Bruce Jenner.
So in all the stories, everything that has to do with the Kardashians, don't you find this to be, you've taken the story of the Kardashians, not directly, indirectly, to a higher level?
They don't affect me one way or the other. So
they affect a lot of people who watch that stuff. That is the ultimate reality show, bigger than any other reality show, the Kardashians.
Why do people go to movies? Because for an hour and a half, or 2 hours, they forget all their problems and they live vicariously through the characters and their fantasy on the screen. And that's what's gone on with these reality shows. I mean, people tend to look less at themselves. I mean, I watched a couple of those Honey Boo Boo shows. They were terrible, for fuck's sakes. I couldn't get through them. And I even have a tough time getting through Nancy Grace. But, you know, it's there. And when you're flicking through the stations, you know, they tend to hypnotize you, and that's why Jerry Springer's still on. And Murray, the guy who gave up on all that shit was the guy who invented the magazine show was Phil Donahue. You guys remember Phil Donahue?
Very well.
Marlo Thomas's husband. He had a great show, and he did some great things, and he was a great journalist, and he had some great interviews. And then Morton Downey, who started that whole crazy bullshit orchestrated garbage, Kardashian-style reality garbage, he came, and then everybody else emerged. Sally J. Raphael, which was the male version of Phil Donahue. She looked like
Any chance that Jenner is conning us?
I don't think he's conning anybody. I think that he's made a choice.
I don't know, obviously.
I'm just telling you that I think that he's made a choice in his life, and good for him. I mean, everybody wants to be comfortable, right?